Good morning, friends. Welcome to TMX Adventures. Lisa here. Today we're going to do some icing because yesterday I spent an hour making 5 recipes to fill the freezer. I did a mega cook again. You might think back a month ago and I did a mega cook to fill the freezer, and with the 4 boys and hubby and myself, it is now gone. So it's time to do another one. I think I'll be doing a few of these mega cooks through the year. For those of you over on Patreon, you're going to get the full 1 hour cook and my tips on how I integrated it, how it all came together nicely, how it just worked out really smoothly. So you'll grab all that info from me. But for the rest of you, I will share with you what recipes I made so that you can, give it a go if you want. And also today we're making the cream cheese icing for the carrot cake. So carrot cake was one of the final recipes I put together. I did a single batch, should have done a batch and a half, and I made it into like a slice style one, okay? Then I've also got a beautiful impossible pie, which made a massive serves. By the way, total serve size, 166 serves. 1 hour of your time and 166 serves. I did use 2 bowls because I didn't want to, because I filmed it in a continuous video, I didn't want to have to go wash up and come back. So 2 bowls is certainly handy to be able to speed that process time up. But yeah, 166 serves, 5 recipes, and pretty much my stock standard pantry stuff. Like there was nothing specific I had to go buy. I did do some swaps and substitutions, which though you'll see in the videos. I did put that, there was things that I didn't have. I didn't have dried apricots. I did some other things instead. So you will get, that's how it went. And it was lots of fun. By the way, if you're watching it today on YouTube tonight on the replay, subscribe. If you are on Facebook right now, I'd love you to say hello. Let me know you're watching. So, impossible pie turned out beautifully. I got to sample a little bit of that last night. This gorgeous almond date slice. This was the raw slice. I always like to put something in there that is raw. I like to put a biscuit, and I like to make like slabs of things that I can slice up and freeze. So that was the raw slice. Then I've got some chalky biscuits. Would have had more of these, but can you believe it? Last night as these were cooling, my dog decided to eat 7 of them. I had to go Google if I was going to have to take my dog to the vet last night. That's like a day and a half worth of snacks for us. The dog ate in one sitting. Yes, right. Anyone else got puppy dogs like that? You think they rule the place? And this was a bit of a standout. This was something I'd never made before, so it was a brand new recipe to me. And I'm trying to remember what it's called, and for the life of me, I actually can't remember. It was the one that I had to substitute out for the apricots. So it's like a date. No, it didn't have dates. The dates from the other one. It was an almond pecan. I didn't have pecans. I did walnuts, oats, cocoa powder. And that was supposed to be apricots, didn't have apricots, that sort of stuff. So, hello Diana, lovely to see you on. So, yes, that was that one. I wish I remember what it was called. It was a US recipe though, it was in ounces. So, anyway, they were the 5 I whipped up, and the carrot, I said the carrot cake, I did that first, right? Which is what we're making icing for today. Now we are going to manually make this because the rest of this month we are learning manual making with the Thermomix. Are you excited? Those of you who are on my mailing list, tonight you're going to get an email from me. And yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction to what we're doing the rest of this month. So keep an eye on your inbox tonight about just after 7, okay? I tend to try and send it at a time that's not too chaotic in homes. So, cream cheese icing, manually made. I'm using up, guys, the bits and pieces that are left behind in the fridge. I don't know about your home, but my fridge just ends up with these random things. So just for weight's sake, I'm going to tell you what I've got. Scales. Now, into cream cheese icing sometimes is butter. Why is the butter in there, you might ask? To make it silky. That's what it does. It gives it that on the tongue texture. Coming up down the track, you're going to see a video from me, and I don't know when I've got it to come live on YouTube, but it's a video about how to make cream buns. Cover your ears if you are on a diet. Part of that recipe is I did some research on how to make mock cream. And mock cream is significantly butter-based. Reason being is that's what gives it that lusciousness on the tongue. Who would have thought, right? By the way, I didn't find a mock cream recipe on Cookidoo, so I had to go searching and kind of figure out what was going to work best. So I've got 50 grams of butter in there, just random leftover bits, but that will bring this cream cheese to that beautiful, soft, delicate on the tongue texture. I have some random leftover bits of, I don't know why, bits. Why would you have a little bit of 20 grams? I'm not sure. And I have another one partially used as well. So sometimes at night time we will make little cream cheese desserts as just after the kids are in bed with, and it's just got like this, but sometimes with like chocolate, melted chocolate through it and things like that. And I think that's why there's partials. I'm not the one who makes them. I'm the one craving them, but I'm not the one who makes them. Okay, so I'm going to put vanilla into this today. Sometimes you put a little bit of, say, a squeeze of lemon juice or something, which often goes nicely with your carrot cake. So I say, what am I making? But I'm going to put vanilla in there. And then, of course, the thing that's missing is sweetener. So I'm going to use... Okay, I'm going to use an icing sugar I made the other day, only because I want to get rid of it. Let me just bring up the scale so you know how much I'm putting in. I'm not going to be putting in a huge amount. The cake itself, just getting it out of the tea strainer. So I used this on the cream buns the other day as like, the, you know, when you buy cream buns and you've got the white powder over the top, the icing sugar. That's why this got milled down. This is raw sugar milled down, and then I use the tea strainer to sprinkle it over the top. And this is leftovers, but as you can see, they kind of congeal, like it goes hard when it's left out. It ends up like concrete. So I'm just going to put in, probably didn't need this much, probably could have just done like a little bit, but I'm happy to actually get rid of that off the bench and put this through the dishwasher. Okay, so about 18 grams. So that gives you a bit of a indication on, I guess, the volumes of what I'm using today. So all we're going to do now is it's really simple. We're going to smooth this out. By the way, they all came straight out of the fridge in the last 10 minutes. So they're not hugely, like, we don't have to have room temperature. Do you remember pre-Thermomix days? Things had to be room temperature? Not anymore. All right, so let's go back to home screen. We're going to whip it up for a moment on speed 5 is what I meant. This will smooth it all out. You can have a look. You can hear when the texture changes and it's starting to kind of smooth out and then flick to the sides. We want anything we go to add a butterfly to needs to be smoothed out before we put the butterfly in. When the butterfly goes in, it actually stops that food, like it protects the food from the blades because it's pushing it around on a maximum of speed 4. And so we need it smooth. So I'm going to scrape down the sides. If you've ever made something like Fruity Dreams soft serve and you've left like a lump of frozen fruit in there, it does not, like the blades will not chop that up once you get to butterfly stage. Okay, it's been 14 seconds. I'm just going to go up to speed 5 again. I'm just going to make sure it's smooth. Okay, I'm happy with its smoothness, and now I put our butterfly in. Now, if your butterfly sits in the drawer and you don't use it too often, let me remind you where it goes. This is a good reminder. However, those of you who got a Thermi from me over the years, you've got a video that shows you how to do this that you can go back and find or remind me and I'll give it to you again, that shows you. So the high blades. You've got a set of blades that does the top of the bowl and you've got a set that does the bottom of the bowl. You need to go behind, so the left-hand side or the back side of the high set. So look for the knuckle. See here, there's a high one that does, and it's pretty hard to see. But if you get your blade set out, hang on, pause that thought. Let me get my spare. This is the way to do it. So see, left to right at the moment, I've got the high set up. If I spin it 90 degrees, you can see now they're low set, yeah? So low set, high set. Now, what I'm getting you to look for is the knuckle, that bit. Because if you're digging around in, say, your smushed up potato that you're about to aerate and make amazing mashed potato, which only works if your potatoes are cooked well through. If you leave that starchy center, it goes to like clad glue. If you've ever had that happen, that's why your potatoes weren't quite all the way cooked. But this here, when you're digging around trying to find where to put your butterfly, you're either going to find that point, trying to get it our way from my shirt, that point or this point. Either are fine because that's the set you want to find. And on the back of it, you've got your blunt side. Your front side has the line on it, and that's the cutting side. You're not going on the front, you're going on the back. Okay, you're going on that back. So it's sitting then between the high and the low. So high blades, backside. Or some of you might prefer to think anti-clockwise. Okay, depends how your brain's wired. I go back, but you know, each their own. So once that's in, it's all the way down, but just stay close. Because if your butterfly is going to come off, it's usually within the first 5 seconds. So you can just push your silver button to stop it. Okay, so up to speed 4, because that's our maximum with, I just put icing on myself. Maximum with our butterfly, and watch it. We want to whip it for about 30 seconds. It just gives it a bit of texture, like a bit of fluffiness, not texture, fluffiness. We're going to have a piping bag next up with a nozzle on it. I've got a star nozzle. Just do some rearranging. I don't think I ever resetted that timer, so it had the collective time of mixing the cream cheese together, I think, and now these. So I don't actually know how long that went for, but it sounds pretty good to me. I'm just making space because what I'll do is I'll put the chopped up carrot cake, which has been in the fridge last night, there so we can ice it together. But look at that. Now, of course, before you do this, you must taste test it because you kind of winged it. Yum. Perfect. It's got that perfect subtleness of the sour from the cream cheese, the sweetness coming through, the vanilla, and that's of course got the smoothness of the butter. Okay, so that's done. To get this out, jiggle and wiggle. By the way, you don't have to follow these exact measurements by any means. If you had less butter, put less butter in. I wouldn't go too much more butter. You'd have to put more cream cheese. It could get greasy. But it's a pretty versatile recipe, okay? If you didn't quite have as much cream cheese, it would probably work out perfectly fine. The only thing is, if you're adding something of liquid, so say you got your lemon juice into there, and I don't think it would happen, but if you went too heavy-handed, you're going to thin out the mixture too much, and in my case, you're not going to be able to pipe it. So I'm now taking this, and I'm going to put it in my piping bag. It's a good texture. If you are having trouble with, say, piping it or something, if you put it in the fridge for 10 minutes to firm it up, that's a good start. Try not to forget about it because, as you know, with cream cheese, it is going to set back, especially with the butter, similarly to what you got it out of the fridge. So you don't want it that hard. You're not going to push that through a piping bag, right? Like, it's just not going to work. So let's keep going with this cream cheese icing. It's so yummy. Just want to lick out this bowl. Okay. There we go. So I just want a little bit on each square, and then I'm actually putting this in the fridge to set this hard again, so that then I can put it in probably in a big glad bag and then flatten the freezer, ready for the month ahead, which is about all I'm going to get out of this massive 166 batch. Okay, there's my piping bag. Let me actually spin you around. Let's get you over here so you can see. Let's pipe together. Alright, excuse the mess. That's all what I just did. And the flies. They seem to have been coming. There's so many flies at the moment. I can't get over how many. Oh, and now I've turned on the kettle. Hang on. It's back there. I can't get over how many flies have turned up lately. It must be the humidity for us here in Queensland. So with your piping bag, alright, so if it's not that runny of a mix, you can actually spin it and it'll actually come down and get rid of all the bubbles real quick. Don't do too many spins, you'll wear it. So all the walls, but one spin. As long as it's not too runny. If it's runny, you're going to have trouble. I've just got this star tip on, and I'm simply going to do this on each one. If there's enough, I might come back and give it a bigger effort, but we'll see. It's really just that little bit. And you know what? I don't know that I'd always do this. Like, it's a fill the freezer. These are concepts for just filling it so that You don't have to buy the packet of bickies. You don't have to, oh, there's a morning tea on at work, what do you take? Or, oh my goodness, I haven't got lunchbox snacks, what can I do? So that's actually this concept is, you know, save yourself money, just get that little bit ahead, feel a bit more organized, less chaotic. Like my motto for this year is like no stress and all success in the kitchen. And that's what I want you to have. I want you to be confident. I want you to know that when you make something in your TM6 or TM5 or TM31, it's going to work. And if there's question marks over what you're making, please don't throw it out. That's when you reach out and go, Lisa, I made this and for some reason, you know, this doesn't look right, help. You know, like that's what I'm here for. So please don't ever, I love to hear from you guys. Please don't ever be a stranger. So, and look at that, leftovers, heaps of leftovers from what I've got. So I can make a second batch. I might actually just put this in the fridge and actually get the kids to make a batch later today. Like it's not my cooking day anyway. I might get them to make a batch for me, another batch, and they can actually eat them over the next couple of days, and I'll get these ones put away because I've got heaps of cream cheese left, which is nice to have that excess to be able to use again. You could freeze that and then it'll come back and you put it in the fridge, and then you've got to take it out for the problem being when you get it out of the fridge, you can't use it straight away. It's gone back like cream cheese, like hard, and like the butter goes hard. So you do have to take the time to put it down on the bench for half an hour at least, and let it defrost so that it is pliable enough to pop. So, but it is freezable as well. But you don't want to freeze your little piping tip. If you're going to freeze it, I'm giving you all the tips today. If you're going to freeze it, double bag it. So put one bag on in the middle that has the icing in it, and then put an outer bag that has the tip. If you need clarification on that, let me know. You just don't want to have the tip, the icing tip in the freezer, because then you can't use it over the next month or whatever it might sit in your freezer for, right? Whereas if you've got the double bag, you can literally then put a peg over the inner bag, and then you can wash up the outer bag and be ready with that tip for use again. So I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. If you're not subscribed already, jump over there. Newsletter is coming this evening. And I have a downloadable in this one. Not going to tell you what it is. I don't want to spoil the surprise. But there's a downloadable. So 16 recipes on a theme, ready to inspire you with your Thermomix. They are Cookidoo ones, as much as we're coming live the rest of this month to do manual stuff so that you gain confidence getting manually, you know, doing stuff manually with your Thermomix, and not, you know, guided recipes are gold. And I will never, you know, like, I'm so incredibly grateful. But there's a bit to be said for being able to manually drive your Thermomix at times as well. There's times and places where you'll be like, oh, I just need to make a smoothie. Oh, I just need to chop these carrots to put them in the freezer because they're, you know, expiring. I just need to. And that's what I want to come and I want to show you. And even if you've got a TM31, you manually drive yours. If you've got a TM5 without Cookidoo, you probably mostly manually use it. So I want to, you know, let's level up a little bit over the next, what's left, 2 weeks of this month, and then see what March brings. March is my birthday month. How cool is that? This year is going too quick. Anyway, have a fantastic day, guys. Take care in all you do. Reach out if I can support you in any way, and we'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.